someone.
Yes.
Excellent, right? Speaking into the void, always fun. Okay. One second. All right. So hello, everyone. First, again, thank you to Heather for welcoming us and to Hannah for going over our revamped code of conduct. My name is Carolyn Casey, and I am the current chair of Samvera board. I want to thank you all for coming to this Connect 2021. Oops. Thank you to the program committee. We had Karen, Heather, Ilkai, Rick, Kevin, Robin, and I think that was it. Thank you to John Cameron and John Dunn from Indiana University Libraries for once again lending their support for our conference technology. For this portion of the program, I will be reviewing the State of Samvera. This has become a tradition for our Fall Connects. I'll provide you with a brief overview of the community. I'll talk about the current state of the community's work and our governance, and then I'll end the program with a recap of the state of the software. So first, the community. As we get into the overview of the community, I would be remiss to not acknowledge the 1-year anniversary of Heather Greer Klein as Samvera's first hired full-time community manager. Much of the work I'm going to discuss here would not have been possible for all of her efforts. So congratulations to Heather for 1 year. Okay, so let's begin with some of our vitals. To date, we have 33 partners, around 60 adopters, and a little over 1,000 Slack members, and 14 active working and interest groups. This past year was tough. We were all struggling as the pandemic wore on. On the flip side, the pandemic reinforced and strengthened the work we do here within and as part of Samvera to make our cultural and scholarly digital record available now and into the future. As some of us rediscovered the meaning of community, we are reminded of what our founders envisioned, that our unique focus on the community, rather than solely the technology, will bring us together and sustain us. The community is on display here at Samvera Connect. This year, it is thriving. We have over 200 unique attendees registered for the various presentations and events to be held over the next week. Our attendees span over 85 organizations, 5 countries, and 3 continents. Once again, I want to thank everyone who has helped to make this event happen. One of the things that makes our community special is our partnership model, where we invite organizations who are already invested in Samvera to become a partner. Anyone in the community can recommend an organization for partnership. We have some exciting news about new partners, as you can see on the screen. PALC, which is the Partnership for Academic Library Collaboration and Innovation, and PALNI, the Private Academic Library Network of Indiana, have joined us as their joint Haiku for Consortia project. This project is developing an affordable, open source, and collaborative institutional repository solution based on Samvera's Haiku software. Additionally, we are working with 2 potential new partners who expect to join before the end of the calendar year. We hope to be able to announce them soon. Much of the work between partners is shared in an open monthly partner call and at a biannual partner meeting. Each call has time for a demo to share any feature development or other work that's being done in the community and locally. For example, this past year, we've had demos from Penn State, University of Michigan, Lafayette College, Northwestern University, Cornell University, Duke University, and Indiana University. All the demos are recorded and available. We encourage partners to contribute to these calls and these demos because you never know when a topic discussed here may blossom into a fruitful collaboration. In terms of collaboration and coming together as a community, I want to note the success we saw at Samvera Virtual Connect held in the spring of 2021. There, we had over 150 unique attendees join us over the course of 2 days. I want to take a moment to thank the Samvera Virtual Connect planners, John, Franny, Heather, Ilkay, April, and David. Another part of what makes us so successful as a community is our working and interest groups. For those of you who aren't familiar with our working and interest group framework, it was developed to provide a lightweight way of creating groups to accomplish work or come together to discuss shared experiences. Criteria for creating interest and working groups are listed on the wiki, and we encourage folks to engage in existing groups or develop new ones if the need arises. A number of these interest and working groups will be reporting out during our time together this week, every day except Friday. You can see them listed here on the screen. I'd like to invite everyone to attend, learn about the important work of these groups, and perhaps find a group you would like to get involved with. This is one of the main ways that we evolve as a community. So I invite all of you to help shape Samvera's future. As an example of some of the amazing work that these groups do with participation in them, we would not have a new code of conduct this year and the revamped helpers program that you just heard about. Nor would we have the technology maintenance hours pledge drive. Don't worry, you still have time to commit. We're at 30% of our goal. And we wouldn't have the code reclamation efforts that are bringing Globus and DOI into the HIRAX core code. Next, I want to take a moment to introduce the Samvera board to everyone. This is our second year as a fully elected body. While we will miss John Wise and Kevin Koczynski, who rotated off, and Jeremy Friesen, who was elected this year but found a position outside of the Samvera community, we welcome Harriet Green and we welcome back Rosalind Metz. And just hot off the presses to fill Jeremy's vacancy, we now welcome Nabila Jaffer. They join members Esme Coles, Hannah Frost, Brian McBride, Alicia Morris, Simeon Warner, and myself. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to the members of the board and we will do our best to answer them or put you in touch with someone who can. And partners, remember that every year, someone from your organization can run to be part of the board. Something else that makes the Samvera community different is our fantastic partners that identify as service providers. I would like to take a moment to thank CoSector, DCE, Notch8, and Ubiquity for help making the community strong. I'm now going to move on to our state of governance. Last year was a very active year for Samvera. We hired our first community manager, Heather, and introduced her at the last Connect. Immediately after, we moved on to a fairly enormous task, finding Samvera a new fiscal home, as our current MOU with Lyrasis was expiring in June of 2021. With input from the partners, the then steering group evaluated options for fiscal sponsorship with a set of criteria. The three organizations that were thoroughly vetted were the Lyrasis Community Supported Programs, Oasis's Foundation as a Service, and the Code for Science and Society project sponsorship. While all three organizations have had an excellent track record of services to projects, Oasis Open stood out by offering three important features: continued project independence, comprehensive fiscal and legal expertise, and a cost-effective fee. The partners voted in April to move to to Oasis Open under their Foundation as a Service umbrella. The fiscal sponsor change has had and will have little impact on the day-to-day work of the community, but it simplifies our fiscal and legal processes and ensures our independence, as Samvera now operates as a 501c6 nonprofit under the Oasis umbrella. And Heather just now moved over and is an Oasis Open employee. Oops, sorry. Speaking of partner and their contributions, last year, or I should say this year we raised over $194,000 to help support the community manager position and other recurring expenses. This is an increase of $18,000 over the past year. As a reminder, in January 2020, partners decided to adopt a financial contribution model to replace the system of voluntary donations that had previously been in place. This contribution model is tiered based on the size of the institution or service provider. 2020 and this past year, 2021, or I should say this current year, are the transition years for partners. In 2022, partners will be asked to contribute the full amount based on the size of their institution. This contribution model provides us with stable income to assist with the hiring of staff for the community and with expenses like Circle CI. This slide provides a picture into the community's finances. We carried over a balance of around $272,000 from last year. Our operating expenses from July 1st, when we moved to Oasis, through the end of 2021 are estimated to be around $48,000. That includes a portion of the community manager salary, a consultant fee for a code of conduct review, and other expenses that I mentioned like Circle CI and a Code for Lib sponsorship. Adding that to our cash in hand from fundraising, we currently have an estimated $418,000 cash balance at the end of December 2021. That cash available to us will allow for us to pay for the day-to-day operations of the community for over the next 2.5 years. From a financial standpoint, the community is secure. So what's next for our finances? Now that we have hired our first staff person and moved our fiscal home, we do need to turn our attention to the outstanding matter of hiring a technical coordinator role. Partners discussed this very topic recently at the partner meeting last week, and we landed on performing a needs analysis in the short term to determine what shape this role or roles becomes. Sorry about that. Okay. Lost my place for a second. Oh, okay, great. We're now moving on to the next section, the state of software. So thank you, Esme, for gathering our statistics from GitHub. We've had 35 contributors from 14 institutions with over 80 active GitHub repos in Samvera and Labs. And there were a total of 1,724 commits since last Connect. You can see the most active repositories listed here on the slide. I want to draw your attention to where much of that time and effort has gone. You see on the slide here the significant releases since last Connect. It really does take a whole community of invested folks to accomplish this work. Some of the core component releases were Avalon 7.2, Haiku 3.0, Hyrax 3.0, and Valkyrie 2.2. Next, I do want to call out some of our software's key support systems. They are the Haiku Interest Group, the Component Maintenance Working Group, the Roadmaps Alignment Group, and the Hyrax Interest Group. Without these groups and the ways that they organize work, some of those releases would have not been possible. I want to give a big shout out to the individuals on these groups and to everyone who takes the time to ensure that the community software delivers value to the community. We did just grab these names off of the wiki, so there might be some names that we missed, or some of these names might be a little outdated, so apologies for that. We still appreciate all of you. I especially want to recognize a large contribution to the community, which is Tamsin Johnson's role as Hyrax Tech Lead. Tamsin completed almost 3 years in this role, and we are also very grateful for the energy spent to sustain the engine that many places use as the foundation for their repository. Thank you very much. We've had 4 developer congresses this past year, mainly focused on onboarding new developers, upgrading dependencies, Valkyrizing Hyrax, working on the React IIIF media player. DevCons are a great way to contribute back to the community, and we do have one set for November. I think it's the 8th through the 12th to round out 2021. I'd like to finish with the update on our technology by mentioning we are trying something new this year. The Samvera community is asking partners, adopters, all users of Samvera technology to commit to technical maintenance in 2022. Maintenance will be planned and scheduled within 3 timeframes. Section 1 is January to the end of April. Section 2 will be May through the end of August. Section 3 is September through the end of December. Institutional decision makers and individual contributors can pledge any number of participant hours within any section of 2022. There's no minimum or maximum hours expected, and there isn't an expectation that an institution has to contribute to every section. Please go to the wiki page to add in your pledge by December 15th. And as you can see, we're about 30% of the way there. Our goal is 768 hours. I promise we're almost done. From the beginning, Samvera has been a self-organized, self-funded, and sustainable project. Partners join the effort because it helps them achieve their local priorities, not because they are chasing grant money. For Samvera, this is key. The community software survives and thrives based on contributions from the partners. That is not to say that grants don't play a role in the Samvera community, and over the years we have benefited from numerous grants. A reminder that if your organization or yourself is interested in including Samvera in a proposal for a grant, please email the Samvera board, which represents the project in these matters, or you can reach out directly to Heather, our community manager. We can help you from everything from plugging you into the right working group to writing a letter of support. And also, if your institution has a current grant, I know some of them are coming to an end soon, please do visit that wiki page to update that information there. Almost done. Last but not least, we have a new award to announce. This award honors the late Julie Allenson, a beloved Samvera community member who was an incredible mentor, teacher, and friend. Beginning in 2022, the Samvera community will present an award in Julie's name to a community member who exemplifies her collaborative spirit. Anyone in the community can donate to this award, and the award will provide funding to future awardees with a plaque and $200 cash. So you can see the link there if you want to donate. And we're done. Thank you again for joining us here today. And now we will break, I guess about 20 minutes, until noon Eastern time before our first presentation, which sounds pretty interesting, academic equity through trauma-informed practices, making repositories sustainable for researchers with lived experience. I hope to see you there.
Thank you so